If you want to level up your content, level up your video, level up the way you shoot, the way you edit, these are 5 things that help us level up our videography business and allowed me to go full time and earn into that 6-figure range. One of the first things I'd recommend, and I already assume that you've got a camera already, but the first thing I recommend is getting a really good lens. Now this is the 24-70 G Master lens. It's an f2.8, and this is kind of the Swiss Army knife of lenses. At 24mm, it's nice and wide, and you can zoom all the way into 70 to get a little bit closer if you need. So if you're shooting an event and you're doing run and gun videography, this is a great lens to use. f2.8 all the way through means you can get a nice bokeh in the background, and just Sony's quality of lenses, this is just a really good lens. For example, like when I first got my A7 III, which is what I'm shooting on now, I got it with the kit lens, and I think it was the 28-70 f3.5 to 5.6, which is just a normal kit lens, and I was shooting everything on that. All of our events, talking heads, photos, all of that stuff I was shooting on that kit lens. And although it looked great, you soon figure out how not good it looks when you put it up against something like this. And as soon as I got this, I immediately saw the improvement and immediately saw that my videos and photos and everything like that instantly leveled up because of a great lens. Now, if you get a really good lens, you can pretty much guarantee that it will hold its value. Now, this is the 24-70 G Master Mark 1. There is a Mark 2, but this still really holds up. It is quite old. I've had it for a really long time. It's slow to zoom. It's been through the wars. It's got scratches and things all over it. The rubber's almost coming off, but it does the job, and it's a workhorse on my camera. So invest in a really good lens because it is worth it. So the next thing I really recommend looking at investing into, and the next thing I recommend to help level up your editing, is quality plugins. Now, if we look into Final Cut Pro, which is what I edit in the beginning, I always looked for free plugins, free this, free that, because I didn't have much money. We didn't have much money. And but I still wanted to have good looking videos and still produce good high quality content, and those free plugins are out there, and I'll show you where to find them, or where I find them. And a lot of them I actually still use to this day, like in a lot of my videos, and it's all free stuff. But you really can't go past looking at some high quality plugins. So if we look at this project here and look at some of the plugins that I've used, this was an introduction for an awards night that preceding this intro played another video of people presenting an award or talking about award. So I've deleted that part and just kept the intro, and this is the intro here. Pretty simple, but did the job, pretty effective, and the clients liked it. So this isn't sponsored, by the way, but a lot of the plugins that I use are from Motion VFX. They're a great company, and although I'm not sponsored by them, they do have some really cool stuff. Some of the free stuff that they've got is really cool. So this Make It Cinematic was free. Sometimes on their website they'll have challenges and different things and promotions that they have going on. Look out for those, because those are often free. Their latest free one was called M Showtime Challenge. So they had a challenge where you had to use these plugins and produce a piece of content and go in the draw to win whatever. I didn't enter it, but I do always download their free stuff, just because you can always find different things in there that are quite quality. So this is what M Showtime Challenge 2024 had. Just had a random arrow. They had some camera movements in there. Film grain, which is always cool. These mats, which I often use. I'll show you the one that I do always use. That was in another free pack, which was called Empath Challenge. Again, another challenge type plugin pack. It had a bunch of titles or effects that you could apply as titles, and some typography titles as well. So for example, I always use this 16mm and this film mat together. So if I show you what those look like together, I'm going to disable these. So this is just the raw footage of my mate doing a pukana. So the 16mm makes it look like it's been shot in 16mm. And then if we apply a matte over top of that, it gives it a bit of like a vintage kind of look. And I often use this type of look in a lot of my videos. and you can, I don't really like how it animates in, so I just turn the animation in and out off so that the plugin comes in straight away. And that's how that looks. And that was a free plugin. Like, there's a bunch of different stuff that you can use out there, and you can warp and make it look like it wasn't free. And all you gotta do is just go searching for that stuff. A lot of what I found early on was on YouTube. There's also these film scratch kind of transitions, these ones here, that I forget where I found these, but I'm pretty sure they were free too, and they came in just a pack of just heaps of them. But I often find I use this one a lot. But Motion VFX plugins are probably the #1 effects that I use. Before Motion VFX, I would always use Pixel Film Studios. Now, for some reason, I don't know, they're just either I haven't updated these plugins or they don't like to update theirs. But then they can be quite slow, but for the longest time I was using this as well. Pixel Film Studios, PFS, I just renamed it. So this was the lower thirds pack, and see how it comes up like you can't use it. It's a bit of a waste of money, but whatever. Pro VCR, I actually used this not long ago, just different VCR looking effects, some VCR statics, and you just drop and drag those, and then you've got that on there. Now, the cool thing about Final Cut Pro is it works in conjunction with what's called Motion, which is like similar to After Effects for Premiere Pro or Adobe. But Motion, you can create effects, create titles, create lower thirds, all that type of stuff. And there's a bunch of creators who actually created their own, so creator made plugins, and I use a couple of them as well. One of them is Ryan Nangle. He often creates a bunch of different transitions and effects and things like that, and sometimes he gives them away for free, sometimes you have to pay for them. These are the free ones. So this is a random Instagram tag that I used. Like, if you go back and look at some of my early videos, like vlog videos, I was using this was free. And he's also done some transitions as well. So some transitions that he's kind of just created. Luma fade, there's a glitch shake here, strobe. I think I used this one a lot. You know, all those types of transitions that were really popular back in 2017, 2018 when Sam Calder was doing all of his videos. But really look into different types of plugins and where you can find them. I think if you really want to, you can search really deep and find some free ones, some really good free ones. But like I say, Motion VFX often do free plugins, so it's worth checking out their website. Also the creator made plugins, Ryan Nangle, the Final Cut Pro. There's probably a ton of others out there as well. But these are just the ones I use. And funnily enough, even the free ones help me level up our business. This next thing that I recommend and helped us level up our videography business is this right here. You need a quality, comfortable setup. Now, before all of this, I was literally just sitting on the couch in my living room with a pillow on my lap and my laptop on my pillow, and just it's plugged into the charger, and I'm just editing like that. That's how I was editing, and I pretty much did that for maybe 2-3 years of just editing on my lap with my laptop. Like, it's crazy to think now, but the way I used to sit, you know, it's very uncomfortable and you can't do it for a long time. And it's just one of those things that when you actually have a proper setup and you have a monitor at the right height and a monitor with the size that you like, and speakers and a keyboard and mouse, and just sitting properly, I don't like editing any other way. Like, if I'm out, because I really don't travel with the setup, obviously it'll just be me and my laptop, but it's hard to edit my old way now because I'm so used to this, because it's so comfortable and I can do it for a long time. So I really recommend, like, if you're serious about it and you're going to be spending hours behind the laptop, obviously, so you want to make it as comfortable and as enjoyable experience as you can. So I definitely recommend even just editing with a keyboard and mouse. I use the MX Master keys for Mac and the MX Master 3 for Mac. The mouse is great because it's got buttons to integrate into Final Cut Pro and how you edit. So for instance, I use this scroll wheel a lot. just to just scroll along the timeline. You can use these shortcut buttons here to go blade or mouse tool, all those types of things. You can do a ton with them, but this alone has helped my workflow and the way I edit, and has become much faster, which means I can output a lot more videos and make it a lot more efficient in the way I do things. So comfortable, efficiency, just all those things. It can be expensive, yes. Is it worth it though? Hell yes. Now the next thing that helped us level up our videography business is audio. Now let me show you the mic I used to use. So this was a $30 Global Media Pro microphone. I bought it off Trade Me. It was, yeah, 30 bucks. It's pretty similar to that Takstar microphone. It just lived on my camera, but it worked. It actually worked. Sometimes I would boom it above and get audio that way. But this cheap little microphone stayed with me from about 2017, I think it was, 2018 maybe, no, 2017, till like literally last week is all I used. It served me well, but it was very limited in the audio quality that you could get from it. So I upgraded to this thing. This is the Sennheiser MKE 600. Now this thing is quality audio. I'm not using this now because I thought I didn't really want to boom it above or below or whatever. I'm not even using this Rode mic actually. I'm using this other Rode mic, which is the Rode Wireless Pro clip to the Rode pod mic, just because it's easier because I'm recording on this camera. Wirelessly do it, pick it up, looks great, doesn't matter. But a quality microphone allows me to capture quality audio. And if there's one thing I learned is that bad video quality or even mediocre video quality can often be forgiven if you've got really good audio. But if the video is really great, but your audio is mud, like if your audio is crap, like you can't fix that and you can't get away with that. But if it's the other way around, you can. So I really recommend getting a great audio kit. But also if you are shooting events, if you're a run and gun videographer, if you're doing weddings, events, all that type of stuff, and you need to capture audio, I really recommend in your audio kit is something like this, which is a Zoom H1N. Obviously there are better ones, but this is real entry level, and I only got this because it's kind of all I needed. But this Zoom recorder is what I use if I'm shooting events and doing run and gun event videography. I will go to the PA guy and I'll ask him, hey, can I plug this in to capture audio? And usually they're pretty good and they just say yep, or they don't know how. Funny thing is, I do know how. I'm a little bit of a audio engineer myself, so I'll try and figure out if they don't, and they're often cool with that. But I'll ask them for like a separate aux mix where I'll just get the microphones. I won't get any of the music that they play unless I need to. And I have a bunch of different cables for any mixer, whether it's an XLR out, whether it's an RCA out, whether it's a 1/4 inch out, either. I'll plug into the mixer, I'll plug into this, I'll push record, and then I don't have to worry about it for the rest of the night. At the end of the event, I push stop record, and I've got everything captured. It's really good if they're using microphones. People are doing speeches, people are emceeing, and you need to get that audio. It's a great way to help level up your event videography because you've got captured the audio pretty much almost perfectly. So if you've been paying attention, I actually didn't say get this camera to level up your content, get this, you need this camera for your video to look great. It's because before you get in a mean as camera, like learn to master the camera you've already got, which I'm assuming you already got. Like get a good lens first. But some honorable mentions, I do actually recommend getting a better camera, especially if you've kind of outgrown your current camera. So my old but still current camera is the A7 III, which I'm filming on right now, and that's got a 35mm 1.8 lens on it. And then I upgraded to this Sony A7S III, which is my new workhorse. I do a lot of stuff in low light. A lot of my events and stuff often are in low light, so this is the low light king. Well, this is in the FX3 now, but this is great. It's pretty much almost exactly the same as the FX3. Well, I seem to think so anyway. There's probably differences. If there are, tell me all about them, because I'm still rocking this until I get the FX3. But if you have outgrown your current camera and you are starting to see a lot of the limitations that it currently has, and you think you're ready and you've got enough to invest in a new camera body, I mean, go ahead, do it. I did, and immediately I noticed a difference in my slow-mo, because now I'm recording slow motion in 4K rather than 1080, which is what the A7 III was limited to. So if you're able to, then yeah, absolutely get a new camera, but master what you've got first. The other honorable mention that I do recommend is lighting. Lighting will dramatically change any situation. You could be shooting on your iPhone in low light and it looks like mud, but then if you get the right lighting, if it's really great lighting, you could be shooting on your iPhone and no one will know the difference whether you're shooting on that or, you know, like a proper DSLR or whatever. I'm no lighting expert, but I do have a little bit of knowledge when it comes to lighting. At the moment, I'm just using like real cheap panel lights that seem to be working fine for now. Like I said, master what you have first until you really need to expand and you've outgrown your current setup. But the other lights that I do have are these Nanlite Pavo tubes, which I've had for the longest time now. They were the Mark 1s. You can tell I don't really upgrade too often. It's because you kind of just need to use what you have, and until you outgrow that, then upgrade, or if they break, then upgrade. But I mean, like, for what I use them for, they're fine. I just pretty much use them for like RGB or in the backgrounds, kick lights, hair lights, backlights, that type of thing. And I'm looking here because that's where you can see the blue color coming from. Now, the last honorable mention is an upgraded laptop. For the longest time, I had a 2014, it was 512 gigs, 8 gigs of RAM. It was 2014 MacBook. And I edited on that for the longest time, all the way up until I think it was 2020, when I sold my motorbike and thought, nah, I need a new laptop because my old laptop is slowing me down and I need a new laptop. So I ended up getting the new 16-inch at the time, and it was great. Like it was fast. I noticed the difference when I was editing. It made my editing a lot more efficient. It was hella expensive though. Like for me, I had to sell my motorbike in order to upgrade. Now, Apple always comes out with new things, better things. And that laptop didn't last too long, because then I upgraded again to the M2 Max, and that was only just last year when that came out, and now my editing has gotten even faster because the laptop is faster, and it's just a flow-on effect. Literally, like I said before, like if you've mastered the gear you've had before, whenever you upgrade and you move on to the next thing, it's only going to emphasize and make you better because you've mastered all these things before it. So in upgrading my laptop, because it was faster, I was able to go faster because my last laptop couldn't keep up with the way I would edit. Now they've come up with the M3, and I'm sure they'll come up with the M4 and the M5. But until then, master what you've got first. Now, this last thing that really helped us level up our videography business is just that confidence to get out there and shoot, and get out there and connect with people who you want to work with. Businesses who you want to shoot for, brands who you want to shoot for. It's not until you really get out there and connect and you find people who are actually looking for a videographer, a photographer, then you just have to let them know, hey, yeah, I can do that for you. I can help you out. Look at my show reel. This is what I can do. Really put yourself out there and put yourself in front of clients and people who you want to work with, because how else are people gonna know you exist and know that you're a creative and can do that type of thing? Now, yes, it does come down to who you know. Like for us, we happened to know quite a lot of people, and so through knowing a lot of people came opportunities, because it was all word of mouth being passed around. Yep, Marco can do this. Yep, Marco can do that. And so it's that connection that you make, and knowing the right people to help you get into those different spaces where they're actually looking for creatives, I suppose, is the key thing to really help level up your videography business. So really put yourself out there, because you never know who's watching, who wants to work with the next young videographer, young photographer, old photographer. Like now where I live in New Zealand, people really want to work with Māori businesses. People really want to work with Pacifica. People really want to work with rangatahi, younger people. So really put yourself out there and really get yourself known, because that's probably the one thing, even without doing all the rest of the things that I mentioned, that's probably the one thing that would actually level up your videography business. Just get yourself out there, get yourself known, and have the confidence to put your hand up and say, yeah, use me, I can do that, because 9 times out of 10 you probably can. And if you can't, then learn, because there's a bunch of tutorials on YouTube. But if you like this video, then please, yeah, go ahead, like this video, comment below of what you think of those 5 key things that helped us level up our business. If I was right, if I was wrong, if you're going to use them, if not, what resonated with you. Don't forget to subscribe, click the bell for all the notifications, all that good stuff. We're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on Threads, we're on Twitter, kind of, and we're on Facebook too. So follow us on all our socials, and I'll see you in the next video.